Hey guys, so today we're filming I don't even know what to refer to this as. So the main bulk of the video is about Gabbie Hanna, which is in the title. So if you want to see the Gabbie Hanna tea, there's a timestamp for the Gabbie Hanna tea, which will be the majority of this video anyway. But we're doing a tiny teensy weensy mini tea at the start of the video. So if you're interested in everything, then there'll be like a slight recap of just a few things that have been happening. And then we get straight into the Gabbie Hanna tea timestamp again. Anyway, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's here. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's here. And that's my personal tea. Also, what do you guys think of this jumper? I left the tag on, which I usually don't do, but I'm not sure if I look smart and sophisticated or if I just look like I killed an animal. Danielle Cohn has recently, I mean, I get a lot of DMs. My DMs are open on Twitter and Instagram, so if you ever have any tea that you want to let me know of, then that's usually the place to reach me. Comments are very difficult because it can just get lost in the sea. I'm acting like I have 20 million subs, but it can get lost. So if you want to just DM me any story, any links, any Instagram, Twitter pages that you have, do it. But usually people, you know, message me about Danielle Cohn because they know how passionately I feel about that whole situation. And I was very happy when I saw that she started there are a few pictures of her dressing more appropriately for her age, which I am very happy with. But then there is also recently a Danielle Cohn Secreto challenge, where I'm not going to put it on the screen. You can look for it if you want to go look for it. But she created a dance on TikTok to her song Secreto, where she shakes parts of her that don't need to be shaken, moves in ways that she does not need to move. And she is also doing this as a challenge for her fans to repeat and post so they can duet. Now, from my understanding, most of her fans are either grown men who should not be interested in a child and young girls around her age whose parents don't let them dress like her and don't let them behave like her, so they can vicariously live through Danielle Cohn by following her on different social media platforms. Now, if I took a guess as to who is going to repeat this dance and upload it on TikTok, it's definitely not going to be the grown men hiding in the shadows. It's going to be the kids. And that's essentially been the case. The kids have been repeating the dance and moving parts of them that don't need to be moved and shaking in a way that they don't need to shake. And I am disgusted. Not by the kids, obviously, but because Danielle and her mum knew what they were doing. They knew that this would give them engagement, but they also knew that it would be kids repeating it. And like we have one kid, Danielle Cohn, who is being exploited and put out there for weird people to watch her. We don't need to encourage more kids to put themselves out there in inappropriate ways. I feel like that's what the challenge is doing. And at this point, I don't think Jen, Danielle's mum, cares about anything, you know, morally, ethically, as long as it brings her daughter's engagement up. And this was just that. It brought her engagement up. It was free promo for her song, but at the same time it puts kids in vulnerable positions on the internet, which I just don't think any reasonable adult who also has a child should be wanting. No parent that I know would want to, one, put their kids in a vulnerable position and also put other kids in a vulnerable position. So she must be, I don't know, I feel like this is obvious by all the videos that I've made, very morally skewed to think that this is okay. And I don't think Danielle was the one that came up with this idea. I think even if she did, I don't think this is the dance that a 13-year-old would have come up with if it wasn't for the way that she's been brought up by her mum. So I don't in any way, shape or form, and I've been saying this for a few months now, I don't in any way, shape or form blame Danielle Cohn for the way that she is and the way that she behaves. I fully, exclusively just blame her mum. Next piece of tea, James Charles. James Charles is having a competition where he will pick smaller, what people would refer to as micro-influencers, to take part in a beauty challenge where you can win, well, essentially exposure because you're on the challenge with James Charles, and $50,000 at the end of it, which I think is, just the right amount to kind of kickstart your career. You know, you can buy some equipment, you can invest in like more products and makeup and stuff while also having a little bit left over as like a yippee, you won, you know? So I think all is good and well. I feel like people are attacking James Charles because sis couldn't match his foundation shade to his face for the longest time and is now going to be the judge of people's makeup. Also, people are saying that he's making this seem like it's his original idea, and I didn't get that impression. I don't think he's claiming that he is the originator of this idea. I just think he's very excited to... I can't believe I'm defending James Charles right now. I'm gonna have to balance this out. His palette is there's my balancing out. I don't think he at any point gave off the impression that he was the original creator of this idea. I think he probably knows that this has already been done before, but he is probably the biggest channel to have ever done this, because he is on what, like 10 to 15 million subs, which I think if he's going to do something with that influence, it should be this. This is important for the next generation of social media influencers that can now make their name going forward. And even if you don't win the challenge, it's still such great exposure for those people. And I feel like as long as James Charles picks people that seem well-rounded human beings, that don't seem problematic, that don't seem like they're going to cause drama in the future, because I don't want to be having to make a video in 2 months' time saying, wow, this person that James Charles gave a career to is now racist or phobic or sexist or whatever it is. I just want this to be a wholesome challenge where someone or someones will be able to build a career and make coin. That's all I want. And if James Charles delivers this, I might just think he's an average human being. I might upgrade him to an average human being. Hope this works out for you. Next, T. Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson has now acknowledged that the palettes are coming in broken, only from Beauty Bay though, because they haven't been bubble wrapping or in any way, shape or form wrapping the palettes to not have them break. And he also is acknowledging the fact that there is hair stuck in a small percentage of the palettes. So I'm glad that those 2 points have been acknowledged. They haven't uploaded for the last 2 weeks with their series, and according to like IMDb and Jeffree Star's like Snapchat stories, there was supposed to be 9 parts. And I actually found this out through a different drama channel. I will try and find who it was and insert it here. That in one of his stories, Jeffree Star said it was going to be a 9-part series. And then in his YouTube video where he tried out the palette, he said that he never at any point claimed that it was a 9-part series.
You guys see the first episode, you will know the real tea of what is the full spectrum of what it's about. 9-part series.
Let's stick to one story, Jeffree. One story. That's it. That's all I want. Just one story. But if it is a 9-part series, incredible. They might be doing some minor changes. They might be doing, you know, a little something. If it isn't, I just want them to be upfront about it and say, oh, this will be a 7-part series, so there's 1 more episode coming, or an 8-part series, or a 12-part series. I don't care. I just like being up to date on things. If I'm invested in something and I had my time invested into the series, I would like to just be kept up to date with different things and not be kept in the dark about things, because I just like to know what's happening. That's it. I just want to know. And some people are upset and claim that, you know, the last episode was the release of the palette, and now we have heard crickets since then. So some people are saying that this was probably just a big ad for their palette, and now that the palette is sold out, they don't care about finishing the series anymore. I don't think that's the case. I think short term, yeah, that would be a great idea. Just, you know, make a long 6-hour-long promo for your palette and then just go MIA. But long term for both of their careers, I just don't think that's a good idea, and I don't think they're stupid enough to do that. I think they're both intelligent people. Regardless of what you think about their character or personality, they are both very smart people and smart businessmen. And I don't think they would ever do this for the longevity of their career. It would just die, and I just think their credibility would die along with it. So I don't think they're doing that. I just Shane Dawson has always been very, like, not unorganized, but very non-linear with his series. He always just says, oh, I'll post now, or I'll post in a few hours, or it's a slight delay. I think that's what makes it more homey instead of like a TV show. It's not so structured. It's just kind of like, I'm still a YouTuber and I still have delays because I'm just one person working on this series. And I think that's what's made it feel more real. And I don't think we can expect him to be as structured as a TV show. I don't know where I'm going with this. Essentially, just wait. I'm sure they'll tweet out about it. There has been some contradictions with Jeffree, but I feel like he probably doesn't know what's happening with the series. Probably just like a Shane thing, and he's just trying to guess. And I don't think we're getting a drama episode from what it seems. But yeah, I just overall think just wait, and maybe the series will come out. If it doesn't, then we can, you know, have a go at them. But as of right now, they have been addressing things and they have been quite open about everything. So let's not jump the gun just yet. Next, Gabbie Hanna. Welcome back to all the people that skipped through my wonderful mini tea. I'm quite disappointed, but welcome nonetheless. Gabbie Hanna is one of my least favorite people on the internet. Not even YouTubers, just one of my least favorite people on the internet, along with, I'd say, like Alfie Days, James Charles, who else? I think that's it. That's my top 3. And let me give you a little recap. She last year had a Kenza Cosmetics scam where we all basically just said stop playing the victim, be accountable, don't tell us to manage our expectations when you are the one that sets the expectations. And she's done none of the things that we told her to do. Now, almost a year later, we're back in the same position pretty much, where she is causing unnecessary drama and then claiming that she's not the one that is causing the drama. Now I'll just let you guys know what happened start to finish and why we are where we are right now and how she could have really avoided 99% of this. She, a while back, found out that Trisha Paytas was hooking up with Jason Nash. That was before they became a couple and made it official, and she went to Jason Nash and told him that she heard from a reasonable source that Trisha Paytas had an and instead of going to Trisha Paytas, who she was actually friends with, she attended her birthday party and all sorts. And you'd think at that point you're kind of comfortable with just going to the source and saying, hey, someone is saying these things about you and I'm just wondering if one, it's true, and if you don't want to tell me, that's fine, but you should tell Jason whatever it is, and you should talk to the source if it isn't true. And even if it is, it was none of their place to go around and say it. I feel like it would have been respectful and just nice to go back to the source and tell them, hey, this is what I've heard, you do with that what you will. But if you don't tell Jason and you do have an STD, I will be forced to tell him myself because that is my friend. But I feel like it just would have been nice if she had approached Trisha first instead of going straight to Jason. Then Trisha made a video where she constantly says things like, you know, she scares me, Gabbie Hanna, you know, it's scary, she scares me. And you think that's a bit strange for a bit of STD drama. And I don't know, that just kind of did its thing. Gabbie kept on lying. She was telling some people one thing and other people another thing. She was claiming that Trisha Paytas was blackmailing Gabby DiMartino, and then the messages came out and there was just no blackmailing whatsoever, which is why Trisha said she was going to start pursuing legal action against Gabbie Hanna. I think to do with defamation. I'm pretty sure it's defamation, which fair enough. I think she actually has a case here because to claim that someone is blackmailing someone and to just in that way tarnish their reputation on the internet, defamation if you ask me, but it, you know, just depends if she wants to actually keep on pursuing that. Now, she has been, by she I mean Gabbie Hanna, playing the victim and not realizing how bad she's making this for herself. So she came out with a few tweets. She had a few tweets made against her. She claims constantly that she's a kind person, such a good person, that, you know, she's got good friends around her and an amazing boyfriend, and she's just got an amazing career, and that she would just never get involved in drama like this, which is exactly what she did. She got involved in this drama. And after all of this, her ex-best friend came out and made a video about her. It's Jessi Smiles. They used to make Vines together and they used to make YouTube videos back in about 2014. And Jessi basically made a video saying that Gabbie Hanna likes to paint people in a bad way to make herself look better when it comes to drama. Now, warning, we are talking about so if that's not something that you're interested in, not that anyone is interested in that, but if that is something that affects you and you don't want to hear about it, then skip to... Jessi was actually assaulted by her ex-boyfriend, I believe, or someone that she was very close to when she was on, I believe, strong meds because she had some kind of a concussion or something happened to her, and he basically said, you can stay over at my house, and then it happened and she filed a police report. And then Gabbie Hanna, finding that out, publicly still supported him and now claims that she didn't. Gabbie Hanna claims that she never supported him publicly, where she says things like, I'm so honoured every time someone tags me with like @CurtisLaporte or King Batch, because clearly they're deluded into thinking I'm on their level. He was arrested at the end of 2013, I'm pretty sure, and there are tweets from December 2013, there are tweets from January 2014, there is a tweet from August 2015, there is also a tweet from May 2015. The screenshots don't lie, I'm pretty sure, is what we've gathered over the years on the internet. Gabbie was still friends with Jessi between 2014 and 2015, as all the videos they uploaded together were uploaded around 2014. And she claimed in one conversation with a fan that by 2014 she wasn't even friends with Jessi anymore. So here's another lie if you needed to know that Gabbie is a liar, essentially, because she is. Then she had a Vine compilation in 2015, and one of those Vines is with Jessi. There's the chats with the fans that Jessi was talking about in her video. I will get into it right now. So in the chats with the first fan, Diana, she says things like, I never hung out with him, he just called me and I answered and whatever, and I didn't, you know, say anything, and that's been disproved. She has hung out with him, that's been shown in the tweets. Another thing is she said to Jessi, when Jessi had a problem with her hanging out with Curtis, that his friends didn't rape you, he did. Which is probably the most awful thing you can say to your ex-best friend that let you stay at her house when you had nowhere to live. She then goes on to show private conversations between Jessi and herself to this fan that just didn't ask for it. It was unprovoked. She also says, oh yeah, right here, she says, Jessi and I weren't friends when the allegations went down, when clearly it's been proven that they were friends in 2014 and 2015. And the allegations went down end of 2013, beginning of 2014. So I'm just not sure how you can try and lie like that when the evidence is all on the internet. So then the whole conversation is just basically her going over different, she's just going around in circles and trying to manipulate this 15-year-old fan before the fan actually feels like, oh, this is a bit strange. And she continues with the conversation and then sends it all to Jessi to show it to her. So that was it. And Jessi basically just said, it's so inappropriate to try and manipulate a fan to make you feel like you're correct or kind of fuel your ego. And then she had a conversation with another 15-year-old fan. Yay. And she actually called Diana, the first 15-year-old fan, manipulative to the second fan she spoke to. Blows my mind. Blows my mind. So she continues this narrative of, I never hung out with him. Then she says, I think the most contact I ever had with him was when we were both at the same event and he tried to take a Snapchat selfie with me and my friend, and I asked him to please delete it and he did. The story changes every single time. First it was a phone call, then it was an event, then it was a Snapchat story. What is it? What is it, Gabbie? Which story is it that we're sticking with today? She didn't watch Jessi's video because when this new fan says, people are saying that you manipulated Diana, and honestly I believe it. However, can you please address the alleged comments of, but his friends didn't you. This is the thing that made me feel sick to my stomach. This is the thing that people are most upset about besides your alleged manipulative personality, and I really want to hear what you have to say about it. And Gabbie replies saying, I didn't watch the video. What was the context? I don't remember saying it, so it's hard to say why I said it. But if I had to guess, it would be because I completely isolated myself for a year to be friends with Jessi because no one wanted anything to do with drama and everyone sided with him and I sided with her. So I didn't have many friends for a long time. I'm guessing she got mad at me for hanging out with someone who has friends because friends with him, and I probably just snapped because I was lonely and tired of being told who I could and could not hang out with. And to that, the girl replies and says, I understand that, but you really should watch Jessi's video so you understand why you're being attacked. It brings some really good points. But once again, I'm not living in your personal life, so I genuinely cannot say what happened for sure. But one thing that you've said is bringing up questions with me. I struggle with my mental health as well, and you said you snapped at her because you were lonely and isolating yourself. One, I'm not saying your struggles are invalid, I'm just playing devil's advocate, but that might be what someone would say to gain sympathy and further manipulate them into believing a lie. This is the smartest 15-year-old on Twitter right now. Why is Gabbie Hanna, a 28-year-old, dumber than a 15-year-old? My boyfriend is watching the video right now. For me to hear the context of that, it's not right, of course, but what I struggle with a lot is that was like 4 years ago, 5. You were 23. You are a grown adult. I said something to a friend who I had a lot of problems with years ago and is being brought up now. Why? The reason I sent those screenshots to Diana was to show her that we've been super cool and cordial over the years. We bury the hatchet over and over. I don't watch that stuff because it's toxic and not good for mental health. Do you know what's toxic and not good for mental health? You. That is just a fact. Okay, and then the girl replies to her and says, I understand, but in this situation, I know this is really hard, but I feel you owe it to your subscribers as well as the rest of the internet to do the bare minimum and watch the video. And Gabbie replies saying, wait, there's not even a screenshot saying I said that. She's just saying I said that. And the girl replies saying, that's why I keep saying allegedly, but Jessi seems very credible and I doubt she would lie about something like that. And Gabbie changes her whole story and goes, because when I heard that, I was like, that doesn't sound like me. And the fan, once again, being the fucking genius that she is, she's saying things that I would say in that situation, and I would say that I'm, you know, quite a smart cookie. So she goes, 2 seconds ago, you didn't even deny it, but now that there's no evidence, you claim you didn't say it. Seems fishy. I'm just trying to let you know how it looks from an outside perspective. Can you understand that? Thank you. Thank you so much for pointing out the bull, pointing out the obvious, and pointing out how hypocritical, manipulative, narcissistic Gabbie Hanna is and how much of a pathological liar she is. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not even gonna go over the rest of the screenshots. I will, the rest of the story is basically like this. This is what Gabbie does to manipulate her 15-year-old fans. Jessi was right in that she plays the victim a lot of the time and likes to make everyone else look worse than they are to make herself look better than she is, and that is a fact. I despise who Gabbie Hanna is as a person, and I don't think I usually say that about YouTubers. I usually like to just keep it not neutral, but I do understand that people are different on the internet than they are in person, so I can never comment on who people are outside of YouTube, but she has shown her true colors time and time again, and I'm just kind of tired of it. This whole time that this has been going down with people exposing Gabbie Hanna as a bad friend and bad person overall, she has been tweeting a lot about, oh, my amazing boyfriend and my amazing friends, just shoving these things in our face to gain sympathy and make us feel good for her, and like, oh yay, she's got these amazing friends, so she probably doesn't actually want to be in drama, and I don't believe it. Another thing is, she literally like 2 days ago released a new song. To me, the whole Trisha Paytas thing was promo for her song, but it backfired and went too far, way too far than she thought it would ever go, and at this point it's what she deserves. This is her social blade, ladies and gents. I'm usually not happy for people being cancelled because I think cancel culture a lot of the time is toxic and but I don't like seeing genuinely bad people succeed in life. If we actually want to hold her accountable, we gotta keep this up, because otherwise she won't understand. Kenza Cosmetics, she bounced back in 2 seconds, her views were fine, she was doing whatever she was doing. This time, let's not make it this easy for her. I'm not saying, you know, ruin her whole life and her whole livelihood, but if you genuinely don't like who she is as a person, then I'd recommend not watching her videos and not, you know, supporting her in that sense, because she's genuinely just not a good person. This isn't just some random tweet from 5 years ago. This is just her personality, and she hasn't changed it over the years. This is her character. She hasn't developed it. There's no character development around here, and until I see character development, I am refusing to support her in any way, shape or form, and I just don't want to see other people supporting her and enabling this kind of behavior. So that's the tea for today's video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, you can comment down below, and subscribe because I post videos every other day, but turn on notifications just in case anything happens and there's a slight delay, and follow me on socials, they'll be in the description down below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.